Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. This is week 5, I believe. Daryl Henry in studio with you. Rick Forney is in his home office and fresh off a walk. Rick, how are you enjoying that beautiful Frederick, Maryland morning?
Good. Really nice out today. Walked for 2 hours and 7 miles and saw an old neighbor of mine as I was walking. He was coming out of the coffee shop and I saw an old friend that was stopped at a stoplight. So yeah, it was a good morning walk and you always feel better throughout your day. So hopefully I can get a couple more walks in this week. It's supposed to be nice.
Yeah, we used to record the show during your walks, and you try to announce the players through, you know,
Uh,
huffing and going
yeah,
up the hill, and
you call me at the wrong time in some of these hills. Frederick's not exactly flat terrain, so you catch me at the wrong time going uphill, it can be a battle.
I'm just kidding. You're in great shape, and
Well, I
thank you for
understand
cleaning
that.
up.
Yeah, I showered for you. I brushed my teeth and washed, cleaned my glasses off, and yeah, hadn't had lunch yet, so I don't have anything on my face and my shirt yet. But give me some time.
That's impressive. Are you hangry?
No, not yet, but I will be if you don't hurry up with this and get it over with.
All right. Well, we have two player signings this week. And also in our middle segment, I just had a great catch up with Braden Scott, who's very excited to be here in about a month. So we'll hear from Braden coming up in our player segment this week. But Rick, before we get to business, how are things? Are stuff starting to pick up a little bit?
Uh, it's still slower than you'd like it to be in March, but um, let's say we've added two good guys last week that I'm feeling pretty good about that are good quality arms that we're familiar with. So, um, yeah, minor league camp, I believe, started on the 5th. So I'm not really sure when the transactions are going to take place. I was chatting with a friend of mine late last night that's um, in the Giants organization, and he seems to think they're going to be letting some guys go. And he thinks other orgs are probably going to be doing the same thing. So just based on, I think April 1st is right around the start date. Is that when AAA season starts this year? So probably that
Yeah.
last week of March, there should be some activity. Um, but you never know how many of them are going to be in a hurry to sign. More times than not, a lot of these guys like to wait and see if they can get hooked up with another organization. So you got to get really fortunate if you're going to add somebody that's a spring training release. But we'll see. We'll work it and do what we need to do.
All right. How's life? Any lacrosse games recently?
Yeah, I didn't go. She played down in Belmont Abbey, which is down by Gastonia, and didn't look like it went too well. But yeah, lacrosse is good. Can you tell Erica kicked me out of my office? Doesn't it look a little different in here?
Oh yeah, yeah. And she was very concerned with what we were talking about before the show, that it wasn't on the show.
He's just making sure we don't get in any kind of trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
kicked me out of my office, and I got a new space.
it's good to have people looking out for our best interests.
Yeah,
But
if it wasn't for our wives, where would we be?
yeah, I don't know. Not here.
You
That's
got that fresh haircut because of your wife.
exactly. She's a barber on the side. I don't know if that's the female term for barber, barberette, something
We'll go
just
with that.
good at it. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Or are you just buttering me up and I actually look silly?
No, your haircut looks good. I need to go get me one.
Thank you. Yours does too, Rick.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah. All right. Well, good show, Rick. Have a good
Catch
rest of
up
your
with
week.
Yeah, catch up with you next Sunday when you text me.
Oh man. All right. So we have two player signings this week, and we'll have 10 announced by the end of this week's program. So uh let's start. I guess in your outfield, you and I were discussing, and from my understanding, this is a guy that you're pretty excited to bring in, a new name Who do we have up first this
Yeah,
week?
we've signed outfielder Brian Ray. Um, really excited about his addition to our club. He's still young, but he's played a lot of baseball, double A, triple A experience, plays a lot in Puerto Rico and winter ball. He's really coming off a really good winter ball season. And Puerto Rico is not exactly the easiest winter league to hit in, but hit over 300 and had over a 400 on base percentage and can play multiple positions, can run, can do some things. So, uh, yeah, we're really excited to add him.
So I had a conversation with Wolfie a few weeks ago, who, by the way, was here again this weekend. Did another great coaches clinic for baseball and softball coaches, including my wife. Um, and so he was in town. Did he stop and pay you a visit?
No, not this time. He flew up this time.
Oh, okay. Well, his arms must be very tired then. Um,
That's it. That is a lot. That is a long flight. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But he was. I can tell he is really excited about a lot of these hitters, and obviously he lives in Florida. We should have him on one of these weeks to talk about this. But he's been able to connect with some of these new guys and get to
Hmm.
know them. And he's singled out Brian Ray, who lives in Deltona, Florida, which is the same hometown as Cam Robinson. Wolfie's really close to there. So they've been able to connect in person. And he was just raving about this guy's bat speed.
Yeah, he's pretty excited about Brian, but we were chatting this morning while I was walking about work, and he's been able to connect with five guys. I can't name them all because we haven't announced all of them just yet, but he's really pleased with everybody, and not only the people that he's kind of been able to connect with and hook up and work with in Florida, but just kind of in his phone conversations and videos that are being exchanged with some of the players. He seems really excited about it. But just in my conversations with some of my colleagues in the American Association, they've all said really good things about Brian. Said he can really hit, and um, I like the fact that there's probably any number of positions that he could be a super productive piece in your lineup. I don't think he's just kind of a top of the order guy, middle of the order bot. I think he can do a lot of things. So if you have a nice mix of left right, you have some options with Brian as to where you could use them.
Yeah. Well, this guy's a right-hand hitter, Brian Ray, Rey, if our listeners want to look him up. But 28 years old, 13th round pick of the Reds back in 2018 out of, I believe, junior college, right? Miami-Dade, I believe it's a junior.
Yeah, really good junior
Um,
college program.
yeah. And has played corner outfield, middle infield. I mean, that's as versatile as it gets. 5 years in the Red system, getting to AAA Louisville on multiple occasions, and um, hit 266 in their minor leagues. And then his time in the American Association with Lake Country. Go back a couple of years, he hit 344 with 11 home runs in 2023. Uh, Played in Puerto Rico winter ball the year after that exclusively, I guess, and then was back with Lake Country last year and hit 293 with 15 home runs and 17 doubles. He actually had 26 doubles his first year in Lake Country, which was a huge number in only 65 games. So just looking at his stats, seems like he has some gap to gap power, some speed, some good bat to ball skills, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a nice offensive piece. I guess, like I said earlier, the biggest thing that I'm excited about is you can plug him in any number of positions in your lineup and he'll be productive for you. But experienced guy, still hungry, and was really excited about the opportunity to come play in York, and um, glad we were able to put it together.
What's Lake Country like as far as a place to hit?
Um, I only was there one time. It's average ballpark. Kind of difficult to see the very first year. I don't know if they fixed the batter's eye there or not. It was kind of challenging, but fair ballpark. I mean, if they fix the batter's eye, then it could be really offensive. But I don't know if that's happened.
That Milwaukee area.
Yeah, just outside of it, kind of just like a suburb and place you wouldn't expect to see a minor league ballpark, but it's a nice little park and a nice little area.
Cool. All right. Well, Brian Ray's our first signing this week. Good stuff. Excited to see him in the lineup here in a little over a month. We'll take a break. Braden Scott joins us in our player segment next, and then back to Rick for our second player signing announcement of this week. Stay with us here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. Welcome back here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. It is time for our player feature here this week, and Braden Scott is coming back here in 2026, and he joins us on the show. Braden, great to see you. For those of you watching on YouTube, anyway. And how's the off season been? Where are you right now?
I'm living up in Indianapolis right now in the Noblesville area and working at a facility up here, getting my work in and everything too. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been good.
I've seen, yeah, I've seen some videos on social. It looks like you've got a really cool place to work out, and you're getting after it, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, we have a huge facility. It's a big turf area, bunch of mounds, all the tech that I need and everything, and working with good people. So it's really nice. It's been great.
Now, how far is that from your hometown? Which I believe, if I heard you say right, doesn't Clinton have like one stoplight, maybe two?
So Clinton's where my mom lives at now. My hometown's Jasonville, Indiana, and that is yeah, that's rural Indiana. We got one stoplight in town. It's a great little spot. It's awesome. I'm about 2 hours away from home up here, so not too bad. My nephew and niece and mom and sister came up this past weekend, and we went out and messed around in downtown Indy, and then I took my nephew into the facility and we hit for a little bit. It was a good time. It was fun.
Nice. How old is he? Is he pursuing baseball too?
He's 3 right now. He'll be 4 this year.
Oh, well, so maybe he doesn't know he's pursuing it yet, but you'll help
Yeah.
him.
Oh no. He's super interested. He loves it. He loves it.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. When do you start to get the itch for the new season?
Uh I mean, right now it's pretty heavy just with the WBC stuff going on. Watching those games, it fires me up to get back into it and start getting into a game atmosphere and everything. But normally, like once bullpens really start ramping up, you kind of get in off season mode and you get working. Your mind just kind of gets occupied and busy because you're working on top of doing your training and everything. But then once you really start locking in bullpens and start getting focused in, it's like, all right, let's get rolling. Let's get rolling.
Yeah. Braden Scott joining us here this week, and last year was a season that any pitcher would dream of having. Was and you had been really good in the years prior to last year, but from the innings and the strikeouts and everything that you did last season, was there something that unlocked another level for you last year that you could pinpoint?
I mean, the preparation in the off season, I think last year was better than the year before. When I came out to York in what was it, 23 or 24.
Right.
But my shoulder was a little beat up. I mean, the funny thing was I came out there with like 114 innings or something like that, and I was feeling it a little bit, and did what I could. But then this past year, I came out with 125, 130, something like that, and felt phenomenal. And I think it was just kind of the preparation in the off season and then staying focused throughout the season with my arm and everything and making sure that felt good going into every start, developing a better routine and stuff like that to go out and consistently throw 6 innings every time I step on the mound.
Yeah. Um, when I'm going to go off topic here for a second. When's the last time that you cut your hair? Well, while I'm thinking about
uh,
it.
it's been a minute. So I always say I got the last time I got like any true length taken off my hair would have been our team photo we took in Evansville at the beginning of the year in 2024. And then since then, it's kind of just been rolling, and I've let it grow out way longer than I thought I ever would. And my cousin's getting married here in the next 2 weeks, and so I got to get a haircut for that because there's no way I'm showing up with hair down to my back. So yeah, I mean, if I had a jersey on, it'd cover up a nameplate right now. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
What about
Yeah,
the
my
beard?
family got a huge kick out of the championship game when I started. You introed me as Shaggy Scott, and
Did I
my family
really?
thought it was the funniest thing on the planet, and so they've started calling me Shaggy Scott. It's great.
Oh, that's great. I didn't even know I did that. So, so clearly there's some things from the championship that I don't remember. Um, what do you remember about the celebration and just the wrapping up of that great group that we had? What stands out to you?
Oh, I mean, that was a lot of fun. That team was cool. I mean, the game itself was a little sketchy for me. I got myself into a couple of spots that I was like, all right, we gotta lock in here for a second." I mean, that fifth inning that I was out there, I think I walked, I think I walked two, hit one, or something like that. I know bases were loaded, and Rick comes out and he's like, "Well, you gotta get yourself out of this." And it was like, "Yeah, no, I know, yeah." But no, the celebration was great and everything, and like I said, a lot of good people to be around. That was a really cool way to end the year for me.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get a second ring. Where's the first one?
First one's at home. I've got it sitting in my little collection. I got a couple because I won a Big Ten championship when I was at IU, so we got a ring for that. And then I actually won a summer ball championship where we got a huge ring, and that's one of the cooler ones that I have in there. But yeah, I got that. It's sitting in that case with those two. So
That's cool. Where was the Summer Ball one?
Morehead City Marlins in the Coastal Plains League.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I try to make note of the summer league teams that guys have played for because they have the best names ever.
Oh, they do. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. They absolutely do.
We do need to talk IU. Braden Scott is with us, and the former Indiana Hoosier. So let's start with the football. Where did you watch the national championship?
I watched it at the house. I worked that day and was able to get home like right at the end of the first quarter, I think, something like that. And I mean, I sat down on the couch, I locked in, I got pretty excited. I mean, I've grown up an IU fan ever since I was a kid. My whole family's been to IU. I think I was like the third or fourth generation graduate from IU in my family, and um, I never would have thought growing up as a kid going to those football games that I would ever see a national championship. Even being an athlete there, and we had some good teams and everything when Penix was the quarterback, and we were ranked those years, and they were really good then. But you knew you weren't going to win a national championship, and then we went in kind of as the bully, and it was really cool. It was super cool. Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah.
Did you get to any home games this year?
No, never got a chance to make it out. I mean, used to. You could walk up and buy a ticket pretty cheap. This year was not the case. Not the case for that. I mean, every game was sold out. I'm pretty sure every home game, and they're already sold out for next year and everything. So, yeah, hoping I can get over and try to see one here soon. My mom and stepdad, they went over to a game, and they said it was unreal because my mom went to school there too. She went to plenty of football games, and she was like, "This is unbelievable, unbelievable."
You guys have earned
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Signetti's
Uh,
awesome. He's awesome.
yeah. What about Assembly Hall? How cool is that place?
Oh, Assembly Hall is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a really cool place to go watch a game, just with the way that the it's all set up and everything. And then, I mean, obviously, the same atmosphere that's at those football games nowadays is what the atmosphere was there in Assembly Hall for really good basketball. And yeah, it's an awesome place to go watch a game. When I was at school there, I got to see when Bob Knight came back for the first time since the 2000s or whatever, and that was such a cool atmosphere to be in, just with
Wow.
a legend in college basketball like that coming in, and the whole place exploded. It was awesome.
Braden Scott with us here this week. So I feel like a lot of people are guilty of assuming that the only great college baseball programs are in the South. Indiana is a great college baseball program. So what were the amenities like for you guys? What's the campus like? I mean, I've never been there. What's IU
Oh,
like?
the campus is beautiful. It really is. You don't really. I mean, like I said, I grew up dreaming of going to school there and playing there, and was on campus quite a bit because we'd go back and watch baseball games and go to basketball games and stuff, and we'd want to go walk around campus. And like as a kid, I always knew it was like a big university. Then you have classes there and you got to go to different buildings and you're taking two different buses to get from one side of campus to the other. It surprises you. I mean, it's huge. Every building is gorgeous. Like the campus, I absolutely you could go walk around for a day and love everything you see. The athletic facilities are top of the line. They're super nice. Our weight room was in the football stadium. It I don't know if it still is, but I know at one point it was like the largest single weight room in the country, I think, or something like that, because it's huge. Because all of the athletics lift out of there, I think, except for basketball. I think they have their own. But then our baseball field was awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, you basically lived there. You got done with class, you'd show up, you'd be playing cards hour, 2 hours before practice started, and then you'd go out for practice and get done, wrapped up with stuff, and then you were just sitting around in the locker room kicking it for the next hour, hour and a half again. I mean, it was a great place to play, a lot of good people to be around and everything, and Mercer and them, they were always good to me, and I'm hoping they've not started out so great this year, but I'm hoping they can kind of reel things in and get the ship straight. So,
No. Well, last thing for you, Braden Scott with us, and I mean, you're an interesting dude. There's a lot of topics we could cover. We'll save some of them for when you're here,
absolutely.
um, but before your time in York, I mean, you're a legend in Evansville. That was where you started your pro career. Got the opportunity with Toronto, of course, and um, going to Evansville again. That's a place that I've never been. Just what was that community like? What was it like playing there for parts of the last 4 years?
It was great. I mean, Andy and Max, the manager and pitching coach there, and the whole staff in general, they were great to me. They were awesome. For me, it was super cool because I got to play professional baseball in Indiana. I was hour and a half at worst away from my family to where they could come down and watch me play anytime that they wanted to. And the community around there that would come to games, they were awesome. You're playing in Bossy Field, the third oldest active professional ballpark in the country, and it plays like that. That's for sure. It's an old diamond. It's got some old bones, but they were great. They were great. Got to start there, and then like you said, got picked up by the Blue Jays out of there, which was really cool. And then being able to go back and kind of try to make another push for some sort of championship run after I got released in 23. We made a championship run when I came back and made it to the very last game of the season. Lost in Game 5 to Quebec. They were a really good team. And then the last 2 years, kind of tried to fight to get back there, and came up short. And but those people are great. It was a great organization, very well run. Everybody top to bottom treated me phenomenal.
Don't be modest or bashful. Do you remember your pro debut? I've never seen a pitching line like that for
Yeah, no,
somebody's
I do.
debut.
I
It was
do.
awesome.
I do. Yeah, that was a really cool thing for me. I went out. I had my 3 years at IU. I never started. I started in junior college, but when I transferred, I immediately went to a bullpen role. So I hadn't started in 3 years, and they had called me and they were like, "Hey, we need you to start on this day if you can be down here." And I was like, "Absolutely." So I drove down and we went up to Chicago and I made the start there in Joliet, I believe is where it was. And yeah, no, had a really good debut. I was super super pumped about it. Super pumped about it.
Nice. Well, Braden, can't wait to see you make your 2026 season debut here in a little over a month. Thanks a lot for joining us here this week, and Again, can't wait to get you back here in York soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Daryl.
Absolutely. That's Braden Scott joining us. We'll be back with more. Rick Forney rejoins us here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. Welcome back here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. A lot of fun catching up with Braden Scott, who should be a major part of this rotation coming up here in 2026. Rick Forney back with us, and we had Brian Ray, outfielder, announced in our first segment. And Rick, I understand that maybe you are getting a little bit closer to being hangry at this point as the show goes on.
Yeah, I think you're just dragging us on purpose just because I'm getting upset.
It's funny. We have we you're right. We do have a half hour to fill every week, and
Oh,
I'm always like dragging it out, and then the show's over and I see it's like 36 minutes and we went over again, but
did you
it's
want to talk about the Eagles' upcoming free agency?
we could. I don't know if any of it's good. They have to make some decisions.
Saving some
um
money?
yeah, what about
The
your
Redskins have a lot of
Commanders?
cap money.
Do
A lot of
they?
cap. Yeah, they have a lot of cap money. I expect them to be pretty active. They're going to have to get after some defensive guys for sure. Be
Yeah.
interesting to see.
What's that?
It'd be interesting to see.
Oh, yes, yes. Well,
The Eagles
Josh
do have
Har
the best GM in the NFL, so I don't think he's going to stand pat.
No, no, he never does that. I hate to break it to you, but you have one of the worst owners in the NFL. I mean, it's better than Dan Snyder, but um, Sixers
Can't blame
fans are
you can't blame it on the owner when a guy's willing to open that checkbook.
no, he is, he is
Yeah, he is. So at some point, it comes down to who's picking the players and who's coaching the players and keeping the train on the tracks.
right, right. Sixers fans are a little irritated with the guy at this point. So, and he
What's
owns
the
both
matter?
both teams.
Well, he's got to bring back Moses Malone and Allen Iverson and Maurice Cheeks and Bobby
Ooh,
Jones, Dr. J, Charles Barkley, Mark Ivoroni.
oh man,
Got to bring those guys back. Daryl Dawkins.
yeah. All the good times were before me.
Oh, I remember when they won that championship. Was that 82 or 83?
83.
Yeah, Moses. He was a stud.
Yeah. Against the Lakers.
Yeah,
All
love it.
right. Well, where's lunch? Are you going to Costco?
No, I can't afford that $1.50 hot dog and Coke, so I'm going to stay home and eat today.
Smart choice. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Good restraint. Okay. All right. Well, again, Brian Ray was our first signing this week. New outfielder, exciting bat. Rick, who do we have next behind the plate, I guess?
Yeah, we signed young catcher Eddie Arteaga. He catches for Matt Turner in the offseason, so Matt knows him really well, said a lot of good things about him, and sent me some video. Really looks like he can receive really well, block, throw. Just young, a little bit on the inexperienced side, but I like the way he catches the ball and other things. I have another friend down in the Miami area that is somewhat familiar with him and his catching ability, and he said good things. So we'll bring him in. I'll try to see if we can find one more catcher as well to create a little competition for that second job. But I'm kind of excited to see Eddie. He always sends me nice text messages and sends me videos and updates on his receiving and hitting. And he's excited about the opportunity and he's putting a lot of work in preparing for the season. So anxious to get a good look at him.
Cool. Left-hand hitter, I see.
Yeah, left-handed bat, and you don't always get your hands on left-handed hitting catching. So, yeah, anxious to get a look at him. I hear good things. Just enjoy my conversations with him. Just seems like a pleasant kid, and if it's anything live like it is on video, and Matt Turner's not exactly the easiest person to catch with all that movement, so um, he looks like he could do a nice job back there for us.
Did you see Matt on some of the spring training highlights? I don't know what his numbers are, but
I haven't checked his numbers. I know he's been pitching pretty well. I mean, one day last week, I don't remember what day it was, he closed out a game and punched out the side. So I think things are going pretty well for him.
yeah, see, Nick Riquet is in big league camp.
Yep.
Brendan Cellucci,
Nick's
see
throwing
him.
well. Salucci's been throwing well. I haven't seen if Simonite's gotten into a game yet. I haven't seen if Cam's gotten into a game yet either. So, yeah, some of these guys are down there doing their thing and doing well, it looks like.
It would be great if we'd get the next uh, Rev to big league story here this year. Maybe more than one.
Those are fun. They're more than
Yeah,
capable, that's for sure. I think Cam's capable. I think Salucci's capable. So I think Matt Turner's capable. So that would be
yeah.
pretty cool.
Well, Eddie Arteaga, 27-year-old from Miami, went to Campbellsville University, which is in Kentucky. It's an NAIA school, and that's good baseball too. And began his pro career in the Pioneer League with Boise a few years back. And again, he's one of those, Rick, that doesn't have a huge amount of experience on the back of the card. So you're relying on, what you see on video and what people are telling you about him.
Yeah, and you're always looking for a younger backup guy, and we're more than willing to give them that opportunity. There's been some young guys that were signed last year out of the tryout camp that one of them got drafted by Lexington, wound up playing well and getting picked up by an organization. And the Flores kid from the Long Island Ducks was picked up out of that tryout camp. And we all saw how well he did last year. So everybody's looking for a young catcher to come in and compete. And I think Eddie do a nice job for us. He gives us some options.
I actually, at one point, played for the Brazil national team in some international competitions. So, went to Miami Palmetto High School. He was a high school teammate of Matt Turner. So they didn't just meet each other at the grocery store. They played together, and there's that connection. I've never met anybody at the grocery store. That was kind of a weird
Come on, Daryl. You know
thing
you
to say.
walk through Walmart in York and everybody stops and wants to chat with you, and
So they want to
everybody's
know
Daryl Henry.
they want to know how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, I'm sure you would probably share that information as well.
All right, Rick. Well, fun show as always. And this is the highlight of my week, So,
Well, I feel sorry for you.
but
I'll see you soon, though. It's fast approaching.
it is. I cannot wait. Got a
Maybe
little
you
more.
should come to Hagerstown for the league tryout camp and broadcast the action live.
Maybe I will. No, I'm not going to do that. But maybe
Get
I'll
some
come.
interviews and stuff on field. Chit chat with
Well,
all the managers that are there.
okay. Well, let's not work too hard yet. But I maybe I'll come see you anyway, and
All right.
and interfere with your work.
Yeah, I'll be down there evaluating, and I'm sure you would distract me.
All right. Well, Brian Ray and Eddie Arteaga this week. Rick, thank you. And
You're welcome.
I look forward with great anticipation to our time next Monday.
Same here. Thanks for having me.
All right. Yes, sir. Have a good week.
You too. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Revolution!